Something huge just dropped and it's flying under the radar. Google has released a brand new AI tool called OPAL, and it's making waves. This isn't some half-baked prototype. OPAL lets you build real web apps, and it's taking things to the next level. While this is happening, Google's other AI systems are out here winning international math competitions and unraveling ancient Roman history in a matter of seconds. Things are definitely escalating fast, and we need to dive into it. Now, OPAL may seem overly simple at first glance, but that's exactly the point. You're not wading through menus or writing code. All you need to do is start typing. Here's how it works. You open OPAL, type what kind of app you want to create, whether it's a budgeting tool or a simple daily planner, and OPAL processes it through Google's internal models to provide you with a working prototype. This isn't just some black box output, though. OPAL lays out the entire app as a visual workflow. Every step of the process is visible. Inputs, outputs, logic blocks, and data handling. You can click into each step, tweak the logic, or edit the prompts directly. If you want to add something new, there's a drag-and-drop toolbar to include fresh components with zero scripting required. It's like telling the AI what you want, watching it build the logic, and then refining it in a flowchart-style editor. It's more about prototyping with ideas than coding. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Once you're done, hit publish, and your app goes live on the web. You can share it through a link, and anyone with a Google account can access it. There's even a gallery where you can check out public apps built by others, remix them, and make your own version. The remix system is seamlessly integrated into the UI. Google's calling this a vibe coding tool, a term gaining traction. It means you don't need to think like a programmer anymore. Instead of worrying about the code running behind the scenes, you focus on the app's design and functionality. Canva, Figma, and Replit have already moved in that direction, but OPAL takes it even further by making natural language the primary interface. And while Google's AI Studio already supports prompt-based workflows for app creation, OPAL takes it to a more intuitive visual level. The goal is to make app development accessible to those who have never written a line of code. No need to understand variables, conditionals, or loops. Just describe what you want and edit what you see. Currently, OPAL is in public beta and limited to the US, but even in this early stage, users have started creating simple front-end apps like calculators, planners, and custom portfolios. It's not quite there for full back-end systems or real-time apps, but that's not the goal. This tool is designed for rapid prototyping and casual product development. It's perfect for educators, creatives, small business owners, and hobbyists with ideas, but no coding background. One impressive feature is how OPAL handles logic. For example, if you're building a quiz app and want to track correct answers, instead of writing JavaScript, you simply describe what should happen when a user selects an answer. You could say, if the answer is correct, show a congratulatory message and add 1 point to the score, and OPAL maps it into the workflow. This visual mapping also aids troubleshooting, helping you pinpoint issues and fix them step by step without combing through complex syntax. Additionally, since OPAL is tied into Google's broader ecosystem, there's room for deeper integrations in the future, such as Firebase for back-end management, Cloud functions for dynamic tasks, or even Gemini integration down the road. None of that is live yet, but the infrastructure is clearly being laid. Now, let's zoom out and talk about how this fits into the broader AI landscape. Right now, Microsoft's pushing GitHub Copilot across its suite, and OpenAI's advanced data analysis is taking programming to new heights. Platforms like Lovable and Cursor are also tapping into vibe coding, focusing on creativity instead of syntax. OPAL is Google's answer to all this. It's not a developer's tool, it's an easy entry point for everyday users to build things they wouldn't even attempt otherwise. This is significant because the no-code and low-code market is booming. Gartner predicts that this sector will grow by over 20% annually, largely driven by people who aren't professional developers. Tools like Webflow, Glide, and Bubble have already made strides, but OPAL brings a fresh approach with generative AI at the core. There are limits to OPAL, though. You can't hook up databases or implement real authentication beyond Google Login, and back-end logic is still off limits. If you want a dynamic app with user accounts or API calls, you'll need something more advanced. But for experimenting with tools like generators, planners, and interactive visual apps, OPAL is already incredibly capable. Now, there's a valid concern about ownership and data control. Since these apps are hosted on Google servers and built using proprietary models, questions arise about intellectual property, especially if someone uses OPAL to prototype a business idea or product. For now, it's probably best used for experimentation and early-stage concepts, rather than anything sensitive or mission-critical. However, the vision is clear: lower the barrier to creation, let users think in terms of their ideas, and let AI handle the heavy lifting. It's one of the cleanest executions of that idea we've seen so far. Switching gears for a moment, let's talk about another impressive achievement that might have flown under the radar: Google DeepMind's performance at this year's International Mathematical Olympiad, IMO. For context, the IMO is the ultimate math competition where the world's brightest students solve incredibly tough problems in algebra, geometry, number theory, and combinatorics. Only 8% of participants earn a gold medal. Last year, DeepMind's models, Alpha Proof and Alpha Geometry 2, scored 28 points out of 42, earning a silver medal. They needed some assistance with translating problems into formal logic, and the process took several days. Impressive, but not quite at human level. However, this year, DeepMind came back with a new version of Gemini in deep think mode, and things got wild. Gemini solved 5 out of 6 problems perfectly, scoring 35 points, and did it within the 4.5-hour time limit. That's a gold medal score. The IMO graders praised the solutions for being precise, clean, and surprisingly easy to follow. The key difference? Deep think mode, a new reasoning setup that lets the model explore and compare multiple lines of thought simultaneously. This allows it to combine different ideas before providing a final answer. Gemini was trained on a massive dataset of high-quality math solutions, and reinforcement learning focused on theorem solving really paid off. No translation required, just natural language and full proofs. This version of Gemini is being tested by trusted mathematicians and could revolutionize research, education, and scientific discovery. And here's one more impressive project: Google's Annius model, designed to restore and contextualize ancient Roman inscriptions. These texts, often carved into stone, have been damaged or partially erased by time. Historically, scholars would spend months analyzing fragments, trying to piece together their meanings, dates, and origins. Annius does all of that in seconds. Trained on over 176,000 Latin inscriptions, Annius can analyze both text and images of the inscriptions, restoring damaged parts with up to 73% accuracy. Even when the length of the gap is unknown, it still delivers 58% accuracy. This is a massive breakthrough for archaeology and classical studies. Annius even restored one of the most debated inscriptions in Roman history, Emperor Augustus's Res Gestae, giving a date range that perfectly matched current scholarly theories. You can check out Annius for free at predictingthepast.com, and the team is open sourcing both the code and dataset. So yeah, AI isn't just making apps and solving math problems, it's literally decoding the past. That's it for today.